Welcome to the Mad Panda podcast, where hip hop doesn't have an expiration date. I am Nate, along here with my co-host Silas, and today we're diving deep into everything hip hop. So let's get it.
And as usual, if you like what you're hearing, please like, subscribe, share so we can keep building this thing. All right, I think today, normally we have sort of a subject, but as you guys all probably realize, we don't really prepare much, but we're even less prepared today. So we figured we would just do kind of a general, kind of whatever comes to our top of our head. So
Yeah.
the first thing I was thinking is on one of our previous episodes, we were talking about a rapper named Bamboo, originally from LA, out of Oakland. And on his record, the one we were listening to, which was if you see somebody still in for a meal.
Oh, if you see somebody steal food, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't.
Excellent album. I would recommend that for everyone. But a guest on his album, or a feature on his album, was his wife, Rocky Rivera. And so I was just looking into it and found a few of her albums. Really good stuff too. Like she's an excellent rapper.
Yeah, okay.
And kind of in the same vibe, like we were talking a little bit, like that, kind of street, but very political. Lots of references to Filipino history, like revolutions and the different politics in the Philippines, plus just kind of, issues with the police, kind of a lot of just the usual hip hop kind of politics stuff, but just very well done. I'm trying to think of the name of the album. Gangster of Love, I think, was...
Gangster Love?
Yeah, that one's from 2000, either 8 or 13. I can't remember the exact. I think it was 2013.
Okay. So this is like one of her first ones, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still kind of digging into it. There was...
Gotcha.
I think her first one was 2008, but I think Gangster of Love was then, for us, 2013. And then I think her most recent, and I don't remember the name, but I want to say it was like 2023. So they're still doing stuff.
Okay.
The Bamboo one we were talking about, that one came out just a few months ago, November of last year. So as a group, yeah, they're still doing stuff. And then I also found, I think they have a label called, I want to say it's called Beat Rock Records. And I think it's theirs, if I read it right. But there's two other female rappers on there. One's named Classy with a K. So Klassy. Again, really kind of similar vibe. I believe she's Filipino as well. And then the other one was, I just told you the name, Ruby? Was it? No.
Ruby, yeah.
Yeah, Ruby Ibarra. Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
You're good.
And again, kind of just very similar. A lot of stuff, there's, talking about like just life, growing up. I think, I'm not sure which one. I think it might have been Rocky Rivera. She actually was born in the Philippines and then came over here.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so she talks a bit about like, her life and stuff. So yeah, just some really good stuff. I would highly recommend everybody checking it out. So
yeah, I might definitely have to check it out as well.
Yeah.
Because I know I heard her on the end of the Bamboo album.
Yeah, where she tells him, "You're wasting this beat."
Yeah. She goes in and just murks it, and I was like, okay, she actually said, because at that time I knew that you said that it was his wife, but I didn't know she was a rapper. I thought that she was just had like natural. I thought she had natural born talent. I was like, oh, maybe she need to get in the booth.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either when I first heard that album. I hadn't, and I'm like disappointed in myself for not knowing about them. I kind of always pride myself on kind of knowing what's going on in the underground, and I completely, like I think I talked about when we talked about Bamboo, I was familiar with them, but not
enough.
For some reason, I just never dug into his stuff, and I'm like, realized I missed a lot, and so I've been trying to dig into his catalog, and then the rest of them. So everybody on that label so far that I've heard is really good.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah.
And so far you used like 3 people. You said, right? Ruby, Classy, okay, Bamboo, and
then Rocky.
Yeah.
So the 4 of them. There's an album by Rocky Rivera with a producer, I think, and I can't think of that person's name. I haven't listened to the album fully yet. I heard one song on there and it was pretty good.
Okay.
Trying to remember the name of it. I think it was about her mom, if I remember right. But I could also be confusing that with one of Bamboo songs, because he has one about his parents and stuff too that's really good.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So, yeah, just...
Is Rocky, what's it, Rocky Rivera, that was her name? Is she from the Bay as well? Or is it...
You know what? I'm not 100% sure. I didn't dig into... Like I said, I think she was born in the Philippines, I'm assuming she was probably from LA because I don't know at what point he moved to LA to the Bay Area, but that's where
Yeah,
he
kind of reside.
yeah. But although I think some of like listening to Classy and Ruby Ibarra, I think they referenced the Bay Area more if I remember right. But yeah, but just yeah, really
Really good
excellent
artist.
stuff. So I'm like I said, I'm disappointed I didn't know about him sooner, but I'm glad that I found him and would definitely be checking him out. And
Yeah.
when I have some cash, I'm gonna buy some vinyl because they did have records on their
They
site.
did?
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So in fact, the Gangster of Love one is on pink vinyl.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, which I thought I was like colored vinyl. So
Yeah, color wise always look better.
yeah, there's a question about the sound quality. I
Uh-huh.
think at this point, the quality's gotten good enough that even with, you know, full color like color vinyl, it sounds just as good
It's
as
just
the black
regular.
vinyl. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't too much know too much about that. But you know what's crazy though? I also think that because sometimes I can like listen past quality if the music is still good. If that
Yeah.
makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it might not be the best quality, but it might be like the beat. The beat might be a little grainy or something like that, but it
Yeah.
works.
As long as
Everything
you can
works.
make out the whole vibe of it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely have some old records that um the quality's not as great, but it still just has, and I have all that stuff on MP3 or whatever, but
Yeah,
even on a old beat up record, there's more of a, I don't know, like
different type of texture to
yeah,
it.
just
Yeah.
more warmth, I guess I think is the word. Like
Oh,
it's just
okay.
kind of, you could feel it more.
Yeah.
So I don't mind some little pops and hisses and stuff, you know. But
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, as for the Bay Area go, man, it seemed like, because I did not know about these cats, so
yeah,
it seemed like, at least for right now, I'm starting to see a lot more Bay Area artists come out the woodworks,
yeah,
and
I mean, they've always had a pretty good scene, but
hmm
I think it always gets kind of lumped into that too shorty 40 sound. And that's
yeah,
I think most people when they think Bay Area, they kind of think in
exactly,
that
yeah, that too short,
consulting kind of funk,
E40,
which there's some good stuff there, but I think it kind of gets lumped into that. And these like this stuff we're talking about, Bamboo in them, it's definitely not that. I mean, it's more of
yeah,
a kind of a
like,
West Coast boom bap style. Like it's kind of more like that
hmm
Southern California underground. And then I think we've talked. There's like Hugo Monster. I mean, I think I've mentioned him before.
I think you mentioned him. I don't remember exactly
Yeah.
what it was that you mentioned him on.
Just yeah, another good Bay Area artist. The album that they put out last year, I think it's Checks in the Mail.
Oh, okay, yeah, I
Excellent
did
album.
hear that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and again, it's more of a traditional kind of hip hop sound. Um, Speaking of Too Short, here's a random segue. There's a new movie coming out that I just saw the preview for today, and it's called Freaky Tales.
What?
And I want to say, and I'm like 85% sure that the It's Too Short is like narrating it,
No
but
way.
but
No
it's this
way.
crazy like it's got Pedro Pascal,
Okay, yeah, Pedro Pascal.
and he's like a crook, but there's like they're robbing some guy. He's like I don't remember if it was a basketball player or somebody,
Yeah.
but they're like he's got a bunch of artifacts, valuable artifacts, so we're gonna rob his house. And at some point, that guy shows up and he's fighting people with a sword. And then there's like a truck of white
No.
supremacists driving around, and then there's some like Asian like gangbanger chick,
Yeah.
and just like all these stories. And
What the heck?
yeah, I heard about it
Wait,
like a
hold on. Is
year.
this all kind of like
It's like
in one movie?
yeah, from what if I read it right, it's like 4 or 5 different stories, and at some point they all merge together.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Because I'm about to say this movie seems like it's everywhere right now.
yeah, it's like I had heard about it and then I'd totally forgotten about it, and then today I just happened to see the preview for it. It came out, and I didn't know it had actual like big names in it either. I
Yeah,
thought it was just
Pedro
gonna be
Pascal.
some
Mm-hmm.
low budget,
Yeah.
hip hop, like those the rap movies they did in the
Yeah.
'90s and 2000s.
They had a TV show a few years back called Tales. Was it Tales?
Tales from the Hood, or
No. I think it might have been just Tales. I might be lying, but it's something like that, right? But I believe Irv Gotti, he the one who
okay,
produced it, and it pretty much he was it was like a TV show where It was a cool concept too. It was where he would take classic hip hop tracks and he would make a real life story out of it, like a real life TV
Oh,
show.
like the episode would
Yeah,
be about.
the episode would be
That's cool.
about.
I don't remember.
Yeah, so he did Rick Slick Rick's children's story.
I'll have to look for that. That's cool.
Yeah, he did a couple of them too. He did NWA, but I think on that one, I believe he reversed it. So it was white people, and it was white people who was like in the black people situation.
Oh,
It
really?
was black cops. Yeah, it was like
I'll have to check that out.
yeah, it was pretty cool though. I forgot what the name was. I believe it was Tails, but it might have
But it
been
was Irv Gotti that did it.
yeah. Irv Gotti is one.
That's he the one that just passed away, or who was that?
No.
No, it was the other guy from Rockefeller, right? No,
Wait,
who was it that just passed away?
no, I ain't hearing about nobody passing away. I've been off the internet for a while, so I don't know. But
Is that just
was
just like
did
last-
Irv Gotti pass away? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like I was a big Irv Gotti fan, so I ain't trying to like be like that. But like that's still somebody who
come on?
paved the way for
Yeah.
a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? As I guess a music executive,
Yeah, it was Irv Gotti.
it was Irv Gotti.
Yeah, he passed away on February 5th.
Wow,
Yeah,
I'm just now hearing about this.
yeah, he
too.
died of a stroke. So
Man, well, R.I.P.
yeah.
R.I.P. Man. Dang. So that's the whole Murder Inc. I believe
That's
he's
right.
the one who created that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Murder Inc. Record label.
He like signed
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule and Ashanti
Ashanti,
because she
yeah.
even made a issued a statement and stuff. So
Yeah, Shanti,
Yeah.
Ja Rule. I'm trying to think who else was on there that was big. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, I
big
don't
ones
remember,
That's the only big ones I can think of.
I wasn't a huge fan of
Because I knew he was associated with DMX, but DMX, I don't think he was not signed to him. He was just
No, but I think
associated.
Yeah, like
with him.
maybe like help bring him up or something.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
But yeah,
Yeah.
RIP, man. But yeah, well, he produced a TV show that was called, I believe that was called Tales, and that was
I'll look
pretty
for that.
much premise.
I want to
of it.
see the Slick Rick one, and then I want to see the reverse NWA.
Yeah, it was wild.
That's crazy. I don't recall ever hearing about that. Huh.
Yeah, well, it was like I would say back in like I want to say 2015, 2016.
Okay.
So it's been a good decade.
It's actually a pretty cool idea. There's so many songs that you could do stuff with. I mean,
Yeah, and make an actual TV show out of it.
Yeah.
or an actual episode out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a wild one. But I forgot the topic I was getting on though.
Well, we were talking about the Too Short movie,
Oh yeah, the two short
but that was a
Freaky Tales. Okay.
segue from just talking about Bay Area.
Yo.
Was it- Yeah. Kind of all
Yeah.
over the place. We just got really like downer right now talking about somebody passing away too.
Yeah.
Um.
Well, let's lift the spirit back
All right.
up. Let's go ahead and
Well, that's on my turntable over there. You were asking who was on there. That's an Aesop Rock record. So,
A$AP Rock, yeah.
I'm a big Aesop Rock fan, and just want to be clear, not Aesop Rocky.
A$AP Rock.
Rock. Yeah. White guy from Brooklyn.
Is it ROCK or is it ROC?
Yeah, ROCK.
Oh, ROCK.
And this was one of my favorite albums. Called The Impossible Kid.
Oh, that's a hard cover.
Yeah, 2016. It actually like folds out with this sheet poster.
Oh yeah, you do got a whole poster in this. I got a whole poster in this one.
I don't think I've ever unfolded this thing actually.
Oh yeah, that is creative. That is creative.
Yeah. And then it's got all the liner notes and more artwork on there on the back. And now I'm not gonna get this thing folded back up right side me.
Gotta follow the creases. Yeah, it's a follow.
They're all
No,
going
me-
different direction.
That is. Oh, hold on. When you put the what you call it in there, the poster in there, it's part of the album.
The little figure.
Oh, that's hard.
Did I do it?
Yep,
Got it.
got it right back.
So yeah, when you throw it in there,
It's like some sci-fi,
yeah, sort of like sci-fi anime,
yeah, fantasy sci-fi, yeah.
like Cheshire Cat, but he's a Cyclops.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, but it's a really good,
What's
excellent.
the name of the album again?
The Impossible Kid?
The Impossible Kid.
Yeah. probably Mystery Fish, Dorks. Those are my two. Oh, and Blood Sandwich. Blood Sandwich is a really cool song. It's his tribute to his brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the verses like, or the kind of choruses, haven't seen my brothers for a minute. Thought I'd throw some up just in case, something like that. Like, you know, but it tells a couple of stories. One of them was his younger brother, like, had a little league game, you know, and all of a sudden all the kids start chasing like a gopher or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this whole story, and the coach
Okay.
getting mad, and then grandma, like, at the end is like, you know, go Yankees or go Mets go or something like that. And he's like, the Mets weren't even playing, you know. And then the second one is about his other brother, who was an industrial music fan. And when they were teenagers or younger, he was reading the Village Voice, and it was like Ministry, which is a huge industrial band,
Okay.
was playing, and the kid wanted to go, and mom was like, well, I'll look into it. And the kid's like, this is something I'd die for.
Yeah.
And then the mom looks and thinks they're like some sort of like Satan fan and doesn't let him. So, and then the kid ends up not going. So, and
Yeah.
the kid's like, when he says there's something to die for, and the verse is something like, imagine a death in the fam from industrial, or a death in the fam from industrial fandom, or something like that.
Death in the fan. Well, Death in the fan from Pedestrian Fandom.
Yeah.
I like the wordplay.
Yeah. He's very like lyrical, like, but very like abstract and kind of,
Mm-hmm.
I think we've talked a little bit about that before. Like you like more where you know exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I could do abstract as well, but the thing with abstract, right? I think you have to, not want to say get trained into it, but you kind of have to like listen to it more than once.
Yeah, you gotta like really
Because like
listen to what he's saying.
kind of throws you off the vibe,
Yeah,
or whatever you expecting kind of throws you off for a little bit, and then like but once you kind of live with it a little bit, ride to it,
Yeah.
or it's like just every day in the Bible, you just kind of have it in the background or something like that, and then you start catching on to it, and it's like, okay, this
Yeah.
kind of got like a little, I
Like-
can get with it.
like that song, the Blood Sandwich, is very. I mean, it's very creative and wordy, like kind of abstract, wordy, but the story is very straightforward. It's
Yeah.
a couple of stories,
Okay.
but some of the other stuff on there, like Dorks, is a really good song, and it's
Dorks.
yeah, and I think it's just kind of about not really being part of the in crowd, because it's like party over there, I'll be over here, like that.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
the chorus, part of the chorus.
Yeah.
But he's put out quite a few records. His most recent one is called I can get it out here. These are all A$AP Rock.
Oh dang, for real?
Yeah.
Got a whole library in this bad wolf.
Yeah. So yeah, this was his most recent, called Integrated Tech Solutions.
Integrated tech solution.
And it's like I don't know, the skits and stuff through are kind of like it's an infomercial for like a business training, like infomercial kind of.
Okay.
But then it's just has really good songs on there too. There's
Is it like a concept album?
kind of, but I mean, there's some stuff. There's like a song called pigeonometry.
Okay.
It's just how he likes birds. There's one that's really cool. It's called On Failure, and he's talking about Van Gogh, the artist Van Gogh, and how
Vincent Van Gogh?
he read that he died penniless and nobody knew who he was.
Yeah.
And as a failure, but then he's like, was he really a failure if he's
Van Gogh.
one of the greatest artists of all time? Kind of like, does it really matter if you're successful in life or not? I think is some of it what he's talking about. So, there's really good stuff. There's
That is it.
there's more here. I think I've got 4 or 5 more other records. So yeah, he's put out a lot of stuff. I think the last 5 or 6 albums have been all produced by himself too.
Oh really?
So he's
he
become a
produces?
really good producer. Yeah, but he also works with a guy named Blockhead, and I think we may have mentioned him when we talked about instrumental hip hop a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But so he produced a few tracks for him early on, and then they actually have done a few full albums together. That are really good. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I personally, I think Impossible Kid's my favorite album.
Out of the whole his whole category.
Yeah,
Or category.
but I mean that's I listen to a lot of his stuff. There's
Yeah.
like Labor was a really good album. Float was the first album I heard by him.
Okay.
And that's a really good album. I think Blockhead produced a few tracks on there, but and I'm not sure who produced the rest off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
yeah. So that's my recommendation of the week there
Okay.
for you.
So okay, I'm gonna listen to ASAP Rock.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean he's got oh just off the top of my head, I'm thinking 10 albums probably, give or take.
Also,
And
he
he's
got some good.
and he's got a few like he did this Hail Mary Mayon, I think. Who I don't know if you've ever heard of a story of somebody named Typhoid Mary in history. She was this nurse that carried the typhoid germ, but didn't get sick by it, but ended up transmitting it to a ton of people.
Really? So she was a carrier.
Yeah,
and carrier.
it was contagious, but she never got sick apparently. But yeah, so they named this little group. I want to say it's him and this one rapper named Rob Sonic. I think that's who does that group. I'm trying to think of some of the other things he's done. I don't think they ever officially put anything out, but there was something called The Orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I'm 90% sure it was A$AP Rock, Sage Francis, Idea, and Blueprint, and maybe Illogic.
Is it Illogic?
Illogic.
Okay, Illogic.
That's another rapper we should talk about one.
Okay. I know Logic. I don't know.
No, Illogic has been out.
Oh.
Celestial something was his like big album.
Oh.
And Blueprint's another one. I don't know if we've talked about him much, but he's Cincinnati. I think both of them are from Cincinnati.
Okay.
But
see, I'm curious how that sound out there.
Yeah, it's like Illogic and Blueprint are just good. Like
artists.
Yeah, it's not New York style. It's definitely kind of that Midwest style.
Yeah.
But not so, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I mean, it's got that boom bap foundation, but it's more more on the underground side, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's still a little different tone to it.
Yeah, but I don't even know if it would be considered a Midwest style. Now that I think about it, it's like, yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just good underground hip hop.
Yeah. So this is your favorite A$AP Rock album right here.
Yeah, that would be The Impossible Kid, probably.
The Impossible Kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely start with that one probably, but
got you.
Personally, I think you could hit up almost any of his records and you'll find at least something on there that you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I just had a thought and I just completely dropped it.
Train of thought just went off the rails.
Went off the rails. So,
but nah, yeah, I mean, we can come back to it if it pops up in your back in your head. But yeah, so earlier, I was listening to Cornel West.
Yeah.
Which I never really heard, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised I'm just now hearing about him, and especially after the election and stuff like that.
Yeah, he ran. I think. I mean, I don't know what. I don't think he was officially on the ballot in Texas, but you could have written him in. They were on the ballot in, I want to say at least 10 states. They actually officially got on the ballot.
Yeah.
I forget who was running as his VP, but yeah, I've been a fan of his for a long time. Just a good, political, social.
Yeah, he seemed like a brother I can get behind for real. He has a lot of good ideas.
Yeah,
and just him talking, one of the speeches I was just listening to that y'all showed me, it got me thinking about like rap and hip hop. Mm-hmm. And I know hip hop's been around about 50 years, right?
Yeah,
about 50 years, and it's kind of crazy. I mean, I feel like it's still like I ain't gonna say in the infant stage, because it's definitely past the infant stage. It's mainstream now.
Yeah,
but it just kind of start thinking about like the culture outside of hip hop. It's like we had built something that grossed a lot of money in the industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, there is no, how can I say, quote unquote, black institutions out there, if that makes sense. Like there's no like all black schools or all black hospitals. Something like because because I can see it from the amount of money that rap makes. This definitely could have been like one or two out there that could have been big. Especially we have hip hop billionaires. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of like
I mean, there's
something to
a
think about.
few. I think I want to say. I don't know if you heard of Dead Press. Do you remember them? They were that song "Hip Hop" was their big.
Yeah, the hip hop. Yeah,
I think I want to say they invested some money in some schools. I thought they did, like they were doing something like that. I don't know.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, very few. There's
yeah,
yeah. I mean, I know most of the money from hip hop has gone into the pockets of the label owners, which are mostly white guys.
yeah,
Um, but even like you're saying, you've got your Jay-Z who he does some stuff, but I don't think he does. I mean, I don't know of any like major philanthropy things he does. Philanthropy. But
yeah.
I know about, he owns part of what the Nets,
The Nets, yeah.
and he has,
Brooklyn Nets. He switched them to Brooklyn Nets instead of New Jersey Nets.
yeah, and I think he owns what a champagne or a vodka company. I don't
Yeah,
know. And then even like with Puffy, I mean, he had his clubs and his thing, and then
yep.
spent most of his money on baby oil and lubricant apparently. But that's where all his wealth went. So
Yeah,
he kept Johnson and Johnson's baby oil company in business. But
yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure.
Because I mean, who we got as billionaires, or who at least had the title of billionaires? Which
He's the one rapper that actually I think broke $1 billion, didn't he?
Nah, it's a couple of them. There was, of course, Jay-Z, Rihanna. I mean, I guess she's a singer, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Did
I
she
still,
break $1 billion?
yeah, I believe she worked
Okay.
with her brand. Then it's Dr. Dre. He did with the Beats
That's true.
headphone. Yeah, with the
Yeah.
Beats headphone, Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
And then of course we got Kanye West, which
He was, and then he isn't, and then he was, and then he
yeah,
wasn't.
he
I
keeps
don't.
like going back and forth,
Yeah.
his antics. But I ain't really too been up on what his antics are now. But if somebody told me he did some crazy things again.
He just came out a couple weeks ago talking about how great Hitler was.
Oh my
So
God, like
yeah. So my guess is he's not putting any money into the black community.
yeah, no, not at all. Oh man, it hurts me, man. It hurts me so much, man. Kanye, where are we going? What are you doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, but I believe him. He touched it. Am I missing somebody else? Oh yeah. You said P Diddy.
Yeah.
So I think they might be all of them. I think they may be who will touch the billion.
Yeah. And I mean, none of them were billionaires because of hip hop, though. It was all their investments and
Yeah, on the outside
yeah.
still.
Yeah. Like even Rihanna, I think it's like her Fendi brand and
Yeah,
endorsements and things like that. So, but
yeah, but even with that though, it's like it's. I mean, I want to also blame it on the culture because I gotta say it's us as well. I mean, because when you have nothing and you have something, it's kind of
easy to spend it or
easy to
try
spend
to.
it. There's like a couple pitfalls you already gonna have to
Yeah.
run through. You gonna have the one is gonna be the people that you come up with. You're gonna want to take care of everybody you came up with,
Yeah.
which that's gonna run out your money
Yeah.
as well. You don't know about money like financial literacy, anything like that. So that's gonna really hurt you. Taxes and stuff like that
Yeah.
can hurt you. Uh,
Yeah. When nobody in your
yeah, no
family has ever had money,
yeah,
nobody's really there to teach you how to
yeah,
deal with money. Yeah.
and then you also got the internal conflict with yourself is when when you want to flaunt and
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
if you've never had a car and
yeah,
now all of a sudden you can afford,
a Rolls Royce or something like that. Yeah,
yeah, even though it's a stupid thing to buy, it's tempting.
yeah,
And then I also think, I mean, just the nature of the advertising in the communities, it kind of,
hmm
there's, if you drive through any inner city, there's no advertisements for, let's go to Harvard or let's,
yeah. No.
invest your money. It's, you know,
We got a liquor store over
yeah,
here.
you got the liquor store, you got
Yeah,
billboards for Colt 45.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's very much a targeted community in a very negative way.
hmm
So,
So yeah, you kind of get coming up. You come up
yeah.
off of that, and it's that's a lot of mental breakdown. I'm not just saying just for the black community as well. I'm pretty sure just having money in general.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. Because, I mean, you see the same thing happen with like when a poor white guy wins the lottery,
yeah,
they're usually broke 5 years later,
Yeah, yeah. I heard
Yeah.
I heard that's the average of the lottery.
Yeah,
Like,
majority of lottery winners end up being broke because they don't properly, they just spend everything as opposed to,
yeah.
um, investing or saving. And
My thing is it's it's kind of hard not to go broke when you don't have nothing. Like, say if I was to become rich right now in this moment,
mm-hmm.
5 years later, I mean, who knows? But I feel like when you do, like, you don't know how to invest. I know people say invest your money, but you don't know how to invest. Like, you
Yeah,
don't know. You might invest, but those investments might be bad, and then you go
yeah.
down, like, and then it's like boom, 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 boom. You get hit with those.
Well, I think the key is like not to go overboard. Like, don't go buy, $1 million home. Because even though you can pay off $1 million home up front,
Mm-hmm.
your property tax on $1 million home is going to be $40,000 or $50,000 a year, depending on where you're at, if not
Mm-hmm.
more. I mean, there's some communities that have a high,
Yeah,
So if you win, say you win $2 million
yeah,
and you buy $1 million home and you buy three, you know, even if you don't go crazy on your cars, you just buy like, $60,000 truck,
yeah.
maybe a Lexus. So you spend 200 grand on three cars,
Uh-huh.
and now you're down to, and I'm saying 2 million after taxes. So you have,
Oh yeah, because they
yeah.
take half of it or
So let's
something
say
like
you end
that.
up with 2 million after the fact, and just on your car and your houses, you've spent, 1.2,
Yeah,
and now,
you gotta try to survive the rest of your
yeah, and
life.
you've got $200,000 worth of cars, which means your insurance payment, even if you have a great driving record, is still going to be,
High is it?
yeah, 10,
Mm-hmm.
15 grand a year. So now you're talking just on your house and your insurance,
Yeah.
between your property tax and your homeowner's insurance and your car insurance, you're probably talking, you know, 60, 70 grand a year,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're not bringing any more income and all you've got is that 600 grand left, 5, 6 years later, you're going to be down to
Yeah,
not
you're
much.
done. You're done.
And you're either going to sell your house or you're going to be sharing a jail cell with other tax
Right.
they lost their taxes. But
Well, I think you just gave some people some good advice about, if y'all win the lottery out there, y'all might want to listen to them.
yeah, I'm broke, so I think a lot about winning the lottery, even though I never buy tickets. But
Yeah. I mean,
I always mean to. But
yeah, well, I kind of have this love hate thing with the lottery thing. For one, I think it's like a brilliant, move. It's like, like I can make millions of dollars off this $2 ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a
yeah,
good little risk right there. But also, it's like you know you're not
yeah, you're not going to win.
90% of the time, 99% of the time, you know you're not gonna win.
Yeah, like at most of my jobs, there's always been somebody with a lotto pool. And even though I'm like, yeah, no, there's nowhere we're going to win, I always would put in
Yeah.
money because I'm not going to be the one guy coming into the office when everybody else is like one. So anytime at work anybody's ever had one,
Yeah.
yeah, and we've never won, but yeah, I think the best I've done is like a $5
Oh yeah.
scratcher. That's about the most I've ever won on a lotto ticket.
I got bad luck when it comes to like winning like things, especially like with like lottery tickets and stuff
Yeah,
like that. It's like I'm never close.
I really am. I mean, I've probably over my lifetime I've probably spent $500 on lotto tickets over 35 years,
Yeah, that's not
and
bad.
I've probably won like $45 maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm at like a negative 90% return on my investment. So yeah, that's a very, yeah.
Yeah.
But the lottery, they always call it a tax on poor people.
The tax on poor people.
Yeah, because rich people aren't buying lottery tickets, so the poor
Yeah.
people are buying it,
Yeah.
and they're not getting anything out of it, so they're just basically giving more money to the government. So it's just a tax on poor people. So, but then you
But
always see that one guy that wins.
I thought the what you call it, I thought the lottery companies wasn't connected with the government.
They're like, well, they're linked somehow because
Okay.
they're all state lotteries, and certain states allow them, some don't.
Yeah.
And a portion of that ticket goes to education. I
Okay.
think it's probably only like maybe 6 cents on the dollar at that. But I guess, I mean, if you sell, 100 million tickets, I mean, that's a decent check for the local schools. But
That is.
that's how they always try to like convince states. They're like, the schools will get this, but
I don't think they seen it honestly.
but what was going on is they're seeing the school may get it, but that community is spending so much on lottery tickets. Now the parents are all poor.
Yeah.
So,
It's like a cycle was going on.
Yeah. So even though, so the schools need more money because the parents can't afford lunches, they can't afford books for their kids. So
Yeah.
now you need more, but so you do another lotto, but then now they buy more tickets. So now the parents are even poorer. And it's just a
Yeah.
cycle.
It's a revolving cycle, man.
Yeah. But no, it would be nice to see a better investment from, these wealthy. I mean, and you can say that across the board. I mean,
Yeah.
the billionaires in this country, and not to get too political, but billionaires shouldn't exist. I mean, their money, some of that money should be going back to the employees.
Yeah. And their companies.
Yeah. Or universal health care, things like that.
Yeah.
But,
Because they are like, Cornell West was saying, like, the people out here just scratching to survive. And
yeah.
you got billionaires out here living 2-3 lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can have
It's like,
pretty much buy people, honestly.
I remember it was probably like 5 or 10 years ago. There was this story about, it was at a Toronto, it's a basketball team, the Raptors, Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, Toronto Raptors.
I'm pretty sure it was a Toronto Raptors game, and Drake was there.
Oh, okay.
And somebody took a close up of this watch that he had, and apparently the watch has a little dial that you can spin and have like cuss words display.
What?
But it was a $750,000 watch.
$750,000
for a watch, and I'm like, you have way too much money if you're going to spend $750,000 on a watch that displays cuss words.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even do it automatically. You had to like spin the dial.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And then you
is
see
so
like
much money.
Jeff Bezos with his, like, I don't know, it was like an $800 million yacht or $650 million yacht.
Oh, I don't know nothing about Jeff Bezos. I mean, I know he's the Amazon guy, but I mean, I don't know what he'd be spending his money on.
I mean, I saw somebody, I don't even remember who it was, but this guy had a 250-foot yacht
Damn.
with a 50-foot yacht on the back of it.
What?
Not even floating. It like raised up and sat on the back deck.
What? He had like an extra.
Yeah, he had a yacht on his yacht. Like his lifeboat was another yacht.
That's some real rich people type stuff, man. Just like, yeah, how rich are you? I got a yacht on a yacht. What you know about that?
Well, I got a yacht on a yacht on a yacht.
I got a yacht on a yacht with a helicopter on the yacht.
It's just like, I don't know. I mean, I get wanting to have money and drive. I mean, if I had money, I'd probably have a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have 12 of them.
Yeah.
Well, maybe 12 different ones, not 12 of the same, but I don't know. I wouldn't have a bunch of them. I mean, that would be like, I would still drive like, a truck or whatever. But I'd have
because your day-to-day car would be the one.
Yeah, like just a decent truck. I'm not, like, and I see like, my son and I driving like to work and back. We'll see a Bentley every now and then.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the Bentley and I'm like, it really doesn't look much different than like a Mercedes.
No, it don't. Honestly, that's one thing I got a problem with Bentleys. I know they're supposed to be like this uber luxury car, but they're kind of ugly to me. I think they kind of ugly. Like, I don't really mess with Bentley like that.
The other day I saw like a smaller Jaguar. Looked exactly like a Nissan Sentra to me. And I'm like, I'm going to spend $70,000-$80,000 on a Jaguar and it's going to look like a $30,000 Sentra. I'm like, no.
Like, nah.
Like, I look at all these cars, and they all look, there's nothing special about many of them anymore.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, the future, still got, we still wait for, like, cars that actually look expensive, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, there's some good ones out there. Like I like the Lamborghini Urus.
Yeah,
their truck SUV.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that one.
Yeah, like good SUV.
Yeah, that one has some good lines to it. And the Lamborghinis themselves, but
truck.
Like the luxury cars, like the Mercedes and the BMWs, and Lexuses, they all kind of just look the same to me, and it's like
they do,
like very similar. None of them really stand out. There's a few. There's this one BMW that I see every now and then that's pretty nice, but
I'm not really a big BMW fan.
Yeah,
it's just the fact of there's like one or two that I don't know the names of, but I do like the interior. But as for like luxury cars, I'm a Mercedes, a Maybach kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Or the Maybach GLS. Like I love those. I like luxury. When I get inside of it,
you want to feel like
I want to feel that whatever. Like I don't know, $300,000 or whatever, $400,000. Worth my.
But I don't even know if any car could feel worth $400,000.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
mean, I don't know. I mean,
I never been in here, right? You never been in one, so
and I've ridden in Lexuses, a few of them,
no.
not many, but a couple. Trying to think. I rode in used to carpool with a guy, and he had like a '88 Jaguar that the air conditioning didn't work, so I wasn't
Wait.
was not impressed by that one.
Yeah.
Especially when we carpooled in the summer.
Oh yeah.
But trying to think of what else. Probably the fanciest car I ever drove was I drove actually an Acura NSX.
Oh yeah.
The very first year they came out. My dad worked for Honda,
Yeah.
and when they first came out, he was able to get one for a weekend.
Oh.
And so he let me drive it a little bit, and then he and my mom took off and drove up the coast in California up to the Bay Area and stuff. But so that's probably the fanciest car
that you drove.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not a maybe I'll get in a Bentley one day and be like, oh yeah, this is worth that kind of money. Right. But I don't think I can't see it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, there's no telling. I like to just say there's no telling what I'm gonna do if I ever get like just out of the blue rich.
Yeah.
Because I might be like right now on this podcast, I'm gonna be like, yeah, don't be spending your money on no cars and stuff like that. As soon as I get rich, man, I'm about to go out. I got like 12 cars. I got a 12-car garage house and stuff.
See, I probably would, like if I had the money, I would have that, but it would be like I don't know, like a '62 Lincoln Continental.
Oh, okay, you like classic, pretty much.
Yeah, and then like a '59 Cadillac Sedan DeVille.
Yeah,
and then
that's a nice one.
And then probably a Lamborghini. I'm not sure which one. I
like the Lamborghini Urus, like you said. Those ones are very nice.
That wouldn't be a bad like day-to-day car. What I would probably get is like a 1984 Lamborghini Countach.
Countach, what is that? I don't know.
That was my car growing up. That was the car I always wanted. It was one of the early Lamborghini sports car. Had the butterfly doors, I think, or gull wings, I think maybe. I don't know if you ever watched Miami Vice. The original. I think that's what he drove. Or no, it was either. Can't remember if it was a Lamborghini Countach or actually I think it was a Ferrari Testarossa he drove.
Okay.
But yeah, like that would probably be like one that I would get. But again, I mean, I would have to make sure everything is set up financially because I don't want to go broke.
Yeah,
in 5 years.
Cars.
Yeah.
Now, are you more of a luxury car person or a sports car person?
Neither really. I mean, I do. There's a couple Lamborghinis. Like I've always just had a little thing for Lamborghini, and I do. I appreciate a lot of the sports cars.
Yeah.
But for me, like the first thing I would buy is either that Lincoln Continental or a Cadillac Coupe de Ville or Sedan de Ville, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A sedan.
Like from like 60, both of them like early 60s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
that classic cars. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that to me, those cars have so much character. Like that's what's missing from most of the cars, in my opinion, these days, is there's just not a lot of character.
Yeah.
Like, even like we're saying, like the Bentley may be incredible inside, but the outside
just don't look.
They don't look much different than like a Mercedes or something.
Yeah,
like
don't
that,
look nothing.
Which don't look much
special
than a BMW, which don't look much different than a Lexus these days.
Yeah. It's like everybody's playing it too safe.
Yeah. There's nothing really, and the one guy that created something different came up with that crappy ass Cybertruck.
Oh,
like, yeah, you played it different, but you did not play it right, buddy.
Man, that truck right there, man. You know what I heard about that too? I don't know because I never drove in one, but they said like people who've been having accidents or been getting accidents with them, they said the Cybertruck is supposed to be like impenetrable or something like that, right?
I don't think it is. I think it breaks.
I heard it is like it's very like bulletproof and but the thing is that the Cybertruck is made to protect itself and not the person inside.
Oh, because the sharp edges. Oh, the person inside.
Yeah. So the drivers are always the ones getting hurt and stuff like that. But the Cybertruck still looks perfectly like.
I mean, I saw some things where like panels were falling off of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then there was one where the guy keeps getting his finger caught in the trunk because it doesn't. Most electric trunks have like a safety feature.
Yeah.
And apparently that one
doesn't. Oh my goodness.
So, and they've had like 40 recalls or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, which I mean, every car
has
recalls, but they have a lot, like for being out for such a short period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
as for cars go though, I'm probably gonna be sticking with Hondas. Be real with you. Be 100. If I get rich, I'll probably still drive around in a Honda. My Honda, actually, a 2009. I'll probably, I'll probably still be riding around in that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned, growing up, my dad worked for Honda, so we drove Hondas all the time. And then, I work for Toyota now, so we drive Toyotas now. So
yeah,
I mean, as far as like modern car, I would probably stick with those. But yeah, like I said, my goal, and if I get me my Cadillac or my Lincoln, that'll be my driving car.
Oh yeah, that would be
You
a
can
drop.
see me out on the road on that thing.
He's
like,
every day, huh?
Yeah,
That's day to day.
Yeah, that. But anyway, I think we got a.
Oh, we got way
off.
off. Yeah, way off. With talking about. Well, hip hop got a lot to do with cars too.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, there's a song from Cool G Rap and DJ Polo from their first album called Cars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it talks about different cars that they each have, and then they brag about having a cell phone in it.
Yeah. Which now
87.
That was a big deal. That was a big deal, huh? I got a cell phone. Hold on. Yeah. Call you from right here.
I think there's an Eric B. and Rakim song about that too. It's like, I'm gonna call you from my celly or something like that from the car. Yeah.
Wow. Well, a lot of people got. A lot of rap music got a lot of car references in it.
Yeah.
And even my favorite artist, he got whole catalogs of
car songs.
Yeah. Like making love to the car because the bass and stuff like that. So,
yeah. This is what I don't know if this was what I was thinking about earlier, but I did want to bring this up. Have you ever heard of a guy named Mumia Abu Jamal? He's a former Black...
Abdul-Jabbar, the basketball player.
No, this guy was a former Black Panther who has been in prison for like 40 years for supposedly killing a cop that he claims he was innocent.
Oh, snap. I think the Boondocks did an episode about this.
Probably. He's very well-known political prisoner. But he was able to do like a radio show and record stuff like from the phone.
Yeah.
But he's got this one spoken word thing where he's talking about R. Kelly's "You Remind Me of a Jeep."
Wow.
And he's basically like,
of a Jeep.
Like,
all right, let me not sing.
Come on, dude. Like, you're reminding our beautiful women. I'm comparing him to a car. Like, as a thing, and basically he's like, you're a great singer. You got a smooth voice, but come on, dude. Like,
yeah,
really, like you're
kind of snapping back into reality.
Yeah, like, come on, dude. Like, yeah. And I don't know. I think when we started talking about Cornel West a little bit, that made me think of that. Like, cars kind of bring it around. But yeah, so I've just ruined that song for you now.
Yeah, you did.
Man, I don't know. Personally, when the first time I heard it, I'm like, I can't believe he's actually saying that. But I ain't
never thought about it that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm over there. Of course, I was probably like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm over there still, getting to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I was never a fan, so I always...
You never a fan of R. Kelly?
Nah.
Yeah.
He just always had this vibe that when they started finding out what he was doing, it was like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it did surprise me. Yeah, like, he always had that kind of vibe to me. Him, and I would say the same thing about Puffy. He always seemed a little suspect to me.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie, man. Puffy, I ain't gonna say he took me by surprise because, like, it's been in the recent years that, he's been kind of, like, doing some suspicious things.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like in the recent years, I'm like, yeah. But, like, if you told me, like, when I was, like, 10, 11 that Puffy would be there, I'm like, nah.
He always seemed very shady. But yeah, like, if you had told me, around the time, Biggie was out, that, in 20 years, he's going to be arrested for lots of sketchy stuff, it'd be like, I don't know about that. But if you had told me, like, he's going to prison because he embezzled from all those artists, I've been like, oh, yeah, that's an obvious.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I wouldn't have said he's going to be raided and they're going to find a bunch of oil and sex toys and potential videos and crazy shit.
Oh my! Which that's a crazy thing in the first place because he had all these famous friends and nobody's coming up to speak.
I think everybody's kind of nervous.
Yeah, because he might got them on tape.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the rich white folk in the Epstein tapes. Those guys are all quiet about it.
They ain't trying to say nothing.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of the same thing. There's a lot, and I forget who was it that was coming out and basically saying, yeah, you guys knew.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything. So Even if you weren't, you know, at the
party.
after party.
Yeah.
You knew what was going on and you never said anything, so you're just as guilty as them. I forget who was saying it. It might have been a comedian. Yeah, I'm not sure who it is. Somebody.
I would like to know about, even on the Puffy side and the other, like, just to know who all was involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know, but it's at the same time, it's like one of the things you don't want to know at the same time. Like, I want to know because I want to know, like,
because it's juicy gossip. You want to know.
Well, yeah, that
and
and like,
want to know who was that bad.
Yeah, who was that bad?
But then you're like, that's my favorite rapper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh,
like if it came out that Big Crit was there, you'd be like,
yeah, man.
Like if I found out De La Soul was hanging out at those parties, I'd like, I would.
Yeah, that would hurt
a bit of my soul right there.
Like, that would hurt.
Yeah,
because from that point on, I feel like you can't really support him. Like you said with the R. Kelly thing, I was telling you when I talked to you about that, where it's like, you never really like R. Kelly, but I grew up with him, so some songs are like within.
Yeah.
But like, it's ever since you found out, or you said ever since you find out what the person did, you don't support them from that point on.
Yeah. Like I think we were talking because there's a writer named Neil Gaiman who's one of my favorite authors.
Yeah.
And he always seemed like he was a good guy, very supportive of the Me Too movements and things like that. Very like supportive feminist causes.
Yeah.
And it's coming out over the last few months what a creep he was with his like 19-year-old nanny and multiple assistants, And so now it's kind of like ruined my vision of him. But it's like some of his books that I read are still some of the greatest books I've ever read. Yeah, I'm not going to get rid of them, but be hard pressed to find me supporting anything he does in the future.
Yeah.
From
this point on.
It's kind of like, you just kind of have to shut him down. And I think we talked a little bit about that with Michael Jackson last week too. It's like, all of us want to think, every bit of me wants to not believe it. And, with him, there's a little bit of leeway because it was never fully proven. So you can be like,
Yeah,
but it's there. So, but you still, there's not many songs as perfect as like Thriller or Billie Jean or.
Yeah, just even the run he had is.
Yeah.
As a human being in the game. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well.
I went off for a little long there, didn't we?
Yeah, and we're kind of in a downer. Let's hope for let's do it. Top 5 here. Hopefully it'll be something better. Something that we can actually answer this week.
Let's see what we got in here.
Something good.
Top 5 not white or black MCs.
Oh, so somebody that's either not, basically somebody that's not black or white.
Yeah, somebody who's not black or white. So,
well, Bamboo, Filipino.
Oh, Filipino?
So we'll go with him. Another one, Filipino, is a guy named Off-White out of Chicago. He's part of Galapagos 5 crew. Really good stuff. I like a lot of his things. I don't think I've mentioned him before. So there's 2.
Not really much that I can think of.
There's a guy, he was part of Soul Sides, which was Black Delicious. And he was in a group called Latyrix with a guy named Lateef, and it's his original name was Asia Born, and then he changed it to Lyrics Born.
Okay.
I haven't liked a lot of the stuff he's done in the last couple of years, but he
pretty nice still though.
Yeah, well, he's kind of gotten into this more kind of funk, almost sing-songy kind of.
Yeah.
I'm just not feeling it as much, but the Latyrix album is incredible, and then he's got this one song called "I'm Just Raw." And it's basically it's just a shit talking song. And he's like talking to like other rappers, like, yeah, I'm dating your mom. And she's a saucy laughs and all this stuff. But then there's this one thing, and he's like doing these comparisons about how hard he is versus how weak you are. Yeah. And he's like, what does he say? Like, I'm like a cell phone and you're like a tin can on a string.
Oh, why?
But my favorite one is he's like, I'm like, Slice Stallone in Rocky, and you're damn, I can't talk. Sly Stallone in Copland, which I don't know if you're familiar with Copland. He plays this like fat old retired cop. No, it's a great movie, actually. It's a really good movie. It's kind of like an indie film, kind of.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's like all these comparisons.
Yeah.
And it's a great song. I really like that one. I'm Just Raw.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Actually, a really good
You
MC.
say he's Filipinos? Or?
He's Asian. I don't know. He's Asian. That's all
Oh,
I know.
okay,
So
okay.
I can't. I don't.
You don't know what distinct.
Yeah, I'm not,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
apologize for that. That's very, very white of me. So I
yeah.
apologize.
I can't even
Um,
think. I was gonna say one, but then I just realized that that's even blacker than black. So
who was that?
it was Nipsey.
Nipsey.
He
Oh,
was
yeah.
he's not you know he's Ethiopian, I
Okay.
believe. But I mean that's black. That's
Yeah.
black. That's
Yeah.
core black right there.
Um. Well, out of California, there was a handful of Mexican rappers. You had like Mellow Man Ace,
Oh yeah,
um, Kid Frost. Um,
Kid Frost. He the one who sang "This is for the Rasta."
yeah,
Oh yeah, that one was
that was a good song. I like
that
that
was
one. I didn't like a lot of most of his stuff, but that song was good. Um, and then Mellow Man Ace's brother is the guy from Cypress Hill, not Be Real, but the other one,
no
Zendog. Sendog, yeah.
okay.
Oh, and another one as part of that would be Muggs. I believe he's
Mug
Italian, which I
Mug
guess is white. Yeah, so I take that back. Yeah. Trivia. What was his first group?
who Mugs?
Yeah.
I don't know.
7A3.
783
7A3.
783.
Yeah. Um, Drums of Steel, was that their song? It was kind of I believe it was a New York-based group, and I'm not sure if he was from New York or if he had just met him and linked up with him, but he DJ'd and produced for them.
Oh, okay.
Kind of had that, and I may be totally wrong. Just in my mind, I'm thinking like kind of the raw bass sound,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I could be totally wrong because it's been 20 years since I've listened to a 783 song. But yeah, that's where he came from. But yeah, I think he's Italian, so that goes. I guess that's officially white. I
Well,
guess maybe. I guess I should have defined it more.
yeah, Mugs is yeah, okay.
Yeah. Um.
Okay, yeah, since we talking about the Mexicans, at least from this generation, we got the incredible artist I like called that Mexican OT.
Oh yeah, you've talked about him before.
Yeah, that Mexican OT, out of Houston. That's what is actually his name, or that's what his name is pretty much standing. It's standing for that Mexican out of Texas. So, so yeah, so that Mexican OT,
All right.
he's has an incredible flow. I think that's what people go for. He has an incredible flow. Let me see if I can try to think of anybody else.
There's one that I think she's a good MC. I'm just not a big fan of her style, but Snow the Product. I believe she's
Oh, Snow the
Hispanic.
Product. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm assuming Mexican, but I don't.
Yeah. I think I believe she's
Okay.
Mexican.
Trying to think of. No, there's more. I'm trying to think.
Well, there's a producer. I mean, I'm not really MC, but a really big producer. Matter of fact, Ill Mind. He's Filipino.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
I'm familiar with this stuff, but yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
realize.
he's
Okay.
dope producer.
Well, speaking of which, there's actually a whole crew. Oh my God, what's their name? Visionaries.
Visionary.
And there's a mix of. There's like a couple of the cats are Filipino. DJ Retmatic.
Okay.
Oh, and then another one that's part of there. He's a guy named Tumex, Mexican dude from California. Part of the company. He's part of Project Bloat and stuff too. Like he's part of that whole
Yeah.
crew. His group was of Mexican descent. OMD. Him and a guy that starts with a Z. It's like a long Mexican name, like an old school Mexican name, like a
Okay.
Aztec type name, I guess.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it justice by saying it, but yeah, that was there's that. Um, there is a Hawaiian rapper, and I cannot think.
Hawaiian rapper.
I know there is, but I can't think of the name. Can't even put a face to it. But I know, at least I think I know that there's a Hawaiian rapper.
Yeah.
Unless there's just a rapper that's from Hawaii that's not necessarily Hawaiian. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, there is a guy, and I wish I can't think of his name right now. He's a producer also, but he's Mongolian.
Mongolian.
Yeah. And I've got one of his records. Can't think of the name, but really kind of a down-tempo, soulful, jazzy,
Oh yeah.
instrumental hip-hop that's really good. So, yeah.
Well, damn. Hey, SPM, South Park Mexicans.
Yeah.
From
I'm assuming they're Mexican.
yeah, the Mexican, yeah.
Oh, Booyah Tribe. They were all
Booyah
Samoan.
Tribe.
It was a crew of Samoan guys. Gangster Red.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Psycho Funk was their big hit. I don't know if it's a hit, but it was their big record.
Okay, I might. I feel like it's coming to me, but I can't really put a pinpoint on it right now.
Psycho Funk. Man, I don't know. I know the song.
Yeah.
There's actually a really good Prince Paul remix of that song too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, both really good. But
But
Gangsta Red was the main guy. Yeah,
you said they're all what? They're
Samoan.
Samoan.
Yeah,
Samoan.
actually, went to high school and knew a girl who was their cousin, but I never got a chance to meet her.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
because their album that was right around the time their album came out.
Oh, so they was up there already.
They were, yeah, and I forget what label they're on, but they were decent. I mean, they were big enough that Prince Paul came around, and
Yeah.
at the time he was big, so bigger than he is now. So I mean, obviously they had made a little bit of noise, but Psycho Funk was there, and I think they did 2 records if I remember right. And I want to say Gangsta Red passed away recently. I want to say I remember him passing away, but yeah, they were not. I mean, they were good. They're not great. There's kind of one of those kind of gangster groups that are, but it was good. That song, Psycho Funk, is actually really. I like that song a lot. Yeah.
Let me see who else we got. They said not white either. Oh, damn.
I know there's more from LA. There's lots of Mexican rappers out of LA. I know.
Yeah.
I know there's more Asian. There's like
I don't really
Hubert,
know
DJ
too many
Hubert.
Asians.
There's, and I don't know his name, but there's a guy that raps on Balloon Mind State by De La Soul. He's a Japanese rapper.
Oh yeah, I do.
And then there's DJ Crush, is a producer out of Japan that's incredible, really good, excellent hip hop. Japan actually has a pretty good hip hop scene, from what I understand.
Really?
Yeah.
Like an old school hip hop like scene, or is like?
I think there's still. I think it's but it's a lot like how you hear like how other countries respected jazz. A lot more than Americans did, and I think that's kind of the way Japan was with hip-hop. They liked the more artistic or more underground independent vibe versus the mainstream stuff, and so that stuff I think really resonated and thrived over there, because that's kind of the vibe that like DJ Crush fits into.
Okay.
But I know there's some other Japanese rappers too. There's one that's Shingo 2.
Shingo.
Yeah, he's got a song called Pearl Harbor. It's actually kind of a cool song because it tells the story of the Pearl Harbor attack from the voice of a kamikaze pilot.
Ah, so he's playing.
Yeah.
He's speaking as he's a kamikaze pilot.
Yeah, that's actually, I like that song. I've got that.
Well, I can't wait to the end of that song. I mean, I kind of know what happens if he's a kamikaze pilot. You know what I'm saying?
It's like watching Titanic.
Yeah, you know what happens. But
you know the ending of this story already, but
now that is interesting.
Yeah.
Check that out.
I think it's Shingo 2. I've got the record here somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. Trying to think who's in the. Oh, well, I was gonna say there's a bunch of stuff out of like Norway and Sweden, but that's as wide as you can get. So yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think I'm tapped out.
Yeah. I always feel like we need one more.
I can't.
Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head, so I think we did way more than 5.
And I'm surprised that, I can't think of anybody out that's outside of white, Mexican, or black in the hip hop community. I was only said one Filipino artist. He wasn't even an artist; he was a producer. So,
but then we got the whole, like we were talking earlier, Bamboo, Rocky Rivera, Classy, and Ruby Ibarra. They're all Filipino, and the one that I just thought of is Immortal Technique. He's Peruvian, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
And I want to say he's all Peruvian, but he uses the N-word a lot. So
yeah, he does.
Know if, he just has that pass, or if he's mixed, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not too sure.
She seems comfortable using it.
He may just be light skinned. I don't know.
But I know he's at least half Peruvian, if not all. I don't know. But
yeah.
So,
well,
there we go.
I guess that's our top 5 for you guys today.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining in and listening. Again, if you like it, subscribe, share, help us grow.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Yep.